What's going on, everybody? This is WrestleReacts back with a brand new podcast for 2024. This is your host, Dros, with the other two, if you want to introduce yourselves.
My name is Johnny Mayhem, and a lot of people just call me John or Johnny. But yeah, that's me.
What's up, y'all? It's Vex, aka RTS, and this is the best podcast where you can find wrestling content.
I mean, Busted Open does some pretty good shit.
Yeah, well, there are competitors now, okay?
Okay, if you say so.
Okay. Anyway,
Anyways, this is the fresh start of the podcast going into 2024. We did stop last year due to member complications. We'll say it that way. Yeah.
We found cheating amongst us. Remember,
What?
he cheated in one of the contests.
Oh yeah. I don't think that's why we stopped, but
That it isn't, but I just felt
we
like
had
calling
a
him out on
cheater.
his cheating bullshit.
We're definitely gonna bring the quizzes back, but not in this episode because we just
So
wanted
I
to.
won that last quiz. I beat
You
him.
know
but
what?
nah.
Not everything is about you.
You're right.
Anywho, we'll bring back the quizzes probably in the next week's podcast. But for right now, we just wanted to get everything out of the way because we've been trying to save this since November to remake this podcast, and everything that's been happening in January is just a lot. So we're just gonna try to get into it as best as we can. But let's start off with the best thing that's been happening so far, and that's TNA's back, bitches.
it's back. I'm so happy.
I'm so excited that TNA is back.
I only knew about TNA from the video games. Y'all can roast me all you want.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Vex wasn't really a TNA fan, but it's cool.
Me and John are TNA for
dude,
lifers.
I'm
Oh my
TNA fan
God.
now. Hey.
The TNA fan. Okay, yeah.
Hey, it's
hey,
2024.
that's
I'm watching
that's fine.
TNA.
That's fine. That was the problem with Impact is like it was okay, but they had okay content, and then the problem was like it wasn't TNA anymore, and that was kind of a big issue, and oh my gosh, like the new arena, the titles, oh my God, the titles look amazing. Both Andros and I were both basically going through this every time they would post a title, and legit every time they post a title, they all looked amazing. Even the knockout tag team titles, I
Oh
love
my
it. Not a
gosh.
big fan of the red strap, but the actual plate itself looks fantastic.
I should have
They
found
did a
pictures of those
fantastic
damn
job.
belts to put up here, but I did not.
Yeah,
I
it's
believe by now they've already finished their pay-per-view Hard to Kill, which was amazing. Me, John, and I
yes,
believe Vex was there whenever we were watching it. Was
yes.
he? No?
Sadly, nope.
Well, me and John were
Okay,
definitely
so
there to watch the Hard to Kill
yeah,
pay-per-view, coming back as TNA, and I gotta say they had a really good pay-per-view to start off. It was really nice. They had a women's X division match, which was kind of cool. I didn't like the winner. I'm not a fan of Giselle Shaw. She can judge me for that one. They had Trinity and Jordan Grace. They had Alex Shelley taking on Moose for the TNA World Championship. That beautiful TNA World Championship. Not to mention they had a banger big four-way match for the TNA tag team titles. That was probably one of my favorite matches on the
that
entire
was so
card.
good. That was so good. That tag team match was freaking yeah. That deserved at least a 5-star right there. That
It
was
really
so
did.
good.
It really did. Um, yeah, like I said, they're in their second episode now, and in the making of recording this video, it's technically the second episode today, which I will be watching while doing this podcast. Not gonna lie, I'm a TNA for lifer now.
Yeah.
So, last episode that I watched it pretty late, around like 1 a.m., but I definitely got to see the action on there. They had some like a banger 6-way X Division match is what they called it, but they had 5 cruiserweights in there, and then Jake something was a part of it. Jake
Yeah.
something won the whole damn match. I don't know. Apparently, Zachary Wentz and Nick Nemeth match. Shout out to Dolph Ziggler or Nick Nemeth.
Yeah,
whatever you wanna
for
call him.
those of you that did not watch and realize this, Dolph Ziggler is now in TNA. Nick Nemeth is his real name, and that's the name he's going under. Fucking insane, and great choice. 100% respect that, because you know that, and and everyone else knows. Of course, Nick knows if wherever you go, you're gonna be the star, and that was his thing. He's like, you're obviously gonna be the star. He went to TNA and he's fucking killing it there.
He
And just
really is.
loving it.
He has his debut match currently as we're doing this. Well, not on TV right now, but TNA is going to be live here soon. It's going to be Nick Nemeth taking on one half of the Rascals, Zachary Wentz, which we knew as Nash Carter back in NXT. So this should be a pretty good match. But let's skip out on that because we have a lot of more news to go over. But seriously, TNA coming back, the best thing that's ever happened. That's just my opinion.
Lovely.
Fuck AEW.
Love it. Fuck
Anyway.
AEW, that's right.
The TNA just turned on as we said that. Anyways, going into the next topic here, which is my favorite topic that I didn't even know we were going to mention on the podcast. This happened later on this week, but they revealed on Monday the WWE 2K24 trailer. And I gotta say, Jesus loving Christ, I loved this trailer. This is better than any trailer that I've seen from 2K. I mean, it was short, it was like a minute or something. But like, already the details on it, beautiful. All the descriptions of like specific stuff that they have in the matches that I can go over here. It was really cool. Anything that you want to input there, John?
There's a lot. This whole game is actually giving me SVR 2011, SVR 2008 vibes. We got special guest referee, we got ambulance matches, we got casket matches. This is insane. The fact that everybody in the wrestling community for wrestling games has been wanting and demanding special guest referee for a long time, and it's something that we've all wanted, and they never did it. We haven't done it. We haven't seen it since 2K14, and after 2K14 they got rid of it. It was done. I was like, what? It was just something that we all missed, and the fact that not only did they bring it back in to 2K24, but they brought back in a whole lot of other matches, like casket, ambulance matches. Oh my god, like I did not expect at all. That I applaud 2K for doing that. That's so good.
Yeah, 2K's they upgraded from 23. I'm telling you that right now. Ever since the whole problem that they had with 2K20 and all the bugs that they have with that, man, they really improved on the last two games. 22 was a banger, 23 was a pretty good banger. I mean, it has some glitches now every now and then, especially with the online thing, because we love playing online.
We love playing online, and we really hope that 2K is fixed online, because that's something that we all have trouble on with 23, is we all play online, and we'll probably last maybe a solid 5 minutes into a match, and then it'll automatically kick everyone out, and we have to reset it up again, and then again, same process, probably can only last 5 minutes into a match, and then it'll kick everyone out. And it's like, man, 2K needs to really fix this. But I'm hoping 2K24 doesn't have that issue. I hope they actually fix that.
For real. I'm just gonna go over a few things here on the WWE 2K24 website, all the features that they have coming out. One thing that John mentioned is that they have some match types, obviously. One being the Gauntlet match, which I loved Gauntlet back in.
Yeah, I did too.
What was the first time Gauntlet came around? Was it 14 or 13?
I think it was 13.
Okay,
maybe
so
it was 14. I think it was 14.
I know it was in 14, but I don't know when it started. But I'm so glad they have Gauntlets back. I hope they do. This is just me assuming, but the Iron Men and Women Survivor matches that they have on NXT Deadline, I wish they would add that to the game because that'd be kind of cool. Another feature that they added was the casket match, which probably one of my favorite things that I used to do back in SVR. Those were really fun. Let me see here. Special guest referee. Oh my goodness. I feel like I should just let John take it from that one.
Oh my god. Like I said, the special guest referee, there's so much you can do for that, especially with online leagues. Like I understand, like there's people that want to do like a serious league, and then there's some people that don't care if you want to do like a comedy league. Oh my god, there's so much work that you can do with that, and that's to make it interesting, to make it entertaining. I love that. And then not to mention we're getting new weapons like a trash can, a microphone, and they're throwable. Like you can throw the weapons. I love that. That you can throw them at your opponent. That's so cool. That's a new feature that they added. I love that. That's so cool.
Oh yeah. And the final new match type that they added here was the ambulance matches. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't ever big on the ambulance matches, but I mean, like I said, it's 2K, so they could probably do something really cool with it.
Oh yeah, I was a big ambulance match guy. I like doing it. It was pretty cool. If they I wonder what they're gonna do. Like if there's have like some sort of mini game to like open the door or something or to throw your opponent in. If it's like some sort of mini game that you have to kind of like a submission. That's what I want to know. Whereas you have to like tap a certain amount of buttons in order to escape. That's what I want to know of like how it's going to be set up.
I'll have to assume that that's the way they're gonna do it.
Like a casket match.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Where
You have to slam the door on that, slam the door on the ambulance.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's going to be some type of mini game that you have to do.
Probably not button mashing in a game. You know 2K loves those.
Yep, that's what I was saying. It was something like kind of what they do for submissions.
I'm excited for all these new match types. I'm just gonna keep going over this website here. Just gonna go down the line.
Sorry, real quick.
Okay.
I was gone for a couple seconds. What are we on?
We're on 2K24. We just stopped talking about opponents.
Okay.
Also, I'm just gonna put this picture here for everybody. That's Stone Cold's face in a deep fake.
Yeah.
Oh
my
Sorry,
god!
I love the idea. Just the doing it sucked. That looks nothing like Stone Cold.
I get the goal of why they did it because of the whole like young thing, because they want to make them look young. But like you could have used the actual people to do so. It would have made a lot more sense.
He wasn't available. That's the thing. I can understand that.
We'll get them available, anyways.
Yeah, I can understand that if
available for voice acting though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Unless that was deep fake stuff too.
Yeah, I don't know, because that's a possible thing. Is
crazy to think
his
though,
voice?
That's what AI is coming to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his voice could be AI. You never know.
You never know. I'm kind of excited for that. Speaking
Scary.
of,
Sometimes it'll be sooner or later we'll have a fucking Skynet. If anyone gets that reference. Do I need to explain the reference?
Yeah, you probably need to.
Probably.
Terminator.
Oh,
okay.
Oh.
Gotcha.
The people that made the T180, the T800.
Yeah. I got you.
Lord have mercy. Going back into this list, speaking of voice acting, become a champion in My Rise. They have some new My Rise things going on for this year, especially for the women, calling them My Rise Unleashed. And then for the men, it's My Rise Undisputed. I like the name of both of these. And I was explaining this before we did the podcast, that I feel like the My Rise Undisputed is more like a faction type thing, because the Undisputed Era is one of the biggest names in WWE currently as a faction. So it would be kind of cool if we made our own like Undisputed Era. That's just my thoughts.
Either that or it's gonna be where you're winning the Undisputed Championship.
True, I didn't even think about that.
Yep. So that's where I feel like that's where it comes into play, where the whole story is about you trying to win, finish the story about you getting the Undisputed Championship.
Unleashed will probably have something to do with the way of the way Bianca came up, or the way Ripley came up.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm excited for both. I might actually do the women's My Career this year. No offense. I didn't do last year's.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
You're fine. I didn't do last year's because I wasn't really a fan of the story. I've already seen it because me and another one of our friends, Duke, already streamed it and I watched it for him. So I already knew what was going to happen. It wasn't my favorite. I like the men's, but we'll see what this year holds. Anyways, go ahead.
So, as I was going to say, with this year, I believe it's been confirmed through a interview with, who's the lead creator of 2K again? Not Ronnie, the other guy. Lionel Jinx.
Lionel.
Oh, Lionel.
My bad. All right, I suck you at
names.
Lionel. they did an interview where he was talking about the My Rises and how there's new paybacks coming into the game. Well, through the My Rise, 2 of those paybacks are unlockables in those My Rises.
Okay.
So one for the men's, one for the women's. So that's why I'm probably going to be playing them, because I want the paybacks. And also there's going to be a lot more unlockables this time around in My Rise.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Going back down this list here. One thing that, no offense, I feel like 2K is trying with this a little bit too much, but I don't know how it's going to be this year. But they did bring back my faction for a second year in a row.
Yeah.
The first year
There's
they
also another thing on that.
on what?
But I'll get to
My
that later.
faction?
On My Faction, yeah, but I'll get to that later, that he said.
Oh, okay. Whenever they originally brought this in for 2K22, it had no online features whatsoever, and it was kind of basic. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't play it for 2K23 either, just because it just sounded boring to me. I'm really wanting to see something improve with the My Faction, because from what we were told by 2K22 is that it's supposed to be like how NBA does their My Team. You just collect the cards and then get higher rankings and then face people online. But again, they had no online feature. I don't know if they had that for 23. If anybody in the comments wants to let us know how that was, please do, because again, haven't played it. But we'll see what it goes into that. Ryan, your thoughts?
Real quick, got a couple of things on my faction. Yeah, My Faction. Another thing with that interview, I forget how it was exactly worded. Someone asked him if the characters that you unlock in My Faction will also be playable in every other game mode, and he said he told them to wait because there's more information on that. It was kind of more of a wink and a head nod for like okay, is what one of the YouTubers that I watched said about it. And another thing is that, again, I don't know if it was online in 23, but I know that was like a huge thing that they were promoting, is that there's online matches now for it in 24.
Well, even if like there's like they don't put the tires into the game, and we can always just rely on what's the status, and he can do it. That's the
I know
thing.
that's a good thing. What was the status? But another thing with that is, we should, as the community, we shouldn't have to rely on status.
True. That is
That
true.
shouldn't have to be a thing.
Yeah.
So I know that was a huge thing when, for example, when in 2K23, when Scott Steiner came out and it was the older Scott Steiner, and then Big Papa Pump was released on My Faction,
Yeah.
everyone was pissed.
Oh
Yeah. That's true. I do remember that.
So they got to figure out something there. I mean, DX, we should have that in the game. That should be in base game. It's been in every other game. Why isn't the stuff to create DX? A bunch of other shit that should just be in the game.
Or just put
So-
like I understand like uh the way I see it. Just put the attires in. That's the way I see it. Like I can and maybe like for some superstars, I can understand like yeah you're probably gonna need the model of longer hair, and they don't have that anymore. For example, like Triple H,
They
like
have
say
the models.
yeah, that's okay. So that's what I mean. But yeah,
It's
I
just
see what
last
you're
year they
saying.
said he was the last year Lionel said that they're 2 different teams, so they can't do that. But that's just my opinion. That's a load of bullshit.
Yeah.
But we'll see what they do this year. Hopefully, even if, like, God forbid, thinking of a way of a company would do. If I was them, even for, like, if you wanted to get them for $2, something like that. Like, if for the people that wanted that character, so they can have it. They don't want it, they don't buy it. But as a company, I feel like you should give your base and your community the option of whether they want that character or not, and not have them gamble their money away on trying to get this singular character.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I know I'm getting heated because there's a lot of fucking people that love My Faction, but that's
I'm not
just
one of
how I
them.
feel on it. So
But moving on from my faction, did you have any thoughts on that, John?
No.
Okay.
I wasn't really a fan of it, so
Sorry
I
about
don't
my
have
rant.
any- You're good.
No, you
If
say
you're a
what you
fan
want
of
to say. It's a
and yeah,
podcast.
That just
Yeah.
it. I'm one of those guys where I'm like, if you want to pay for it, cool, but I want that character in the game, like, and be able to use them everywhere. But off that, let's move on.
Oh yeah. So they are bringing back Universe Mode. It's always a basic theme they've had on for a long time. I believe since SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. A few things that they added apparently is no holds barred sandbox mode. It's enhanced with more expanded rivalry actions, brand new cutscenes, and double title matches. So you can definitely do double title in Universe Mode now, which is pretty freaking cool. And I believe, I don't remember where I read this from, because I saw reports on YouTube by Smack Talks stating that in Universe Mode there's something called a loser leaves town match. I'm not very certain of what that does. I need to look into more info with that, but that'd be kind of cool to figure out what that does, if anybody has any opinions.
Yeah, with the loser leaves town match, they had that in 23, but it's like they're more developing on it. Like, it's not when we used to do it with the rivalry actions. I think it just there wasn't really anything it would do. It was just, oh, they lost and that's it. This one, I don't know if this is true or not, but I think the way they'll do it is like they actually get kicked off the brand.
That's smart.
Sure, the loser leaves town, then they go like down if they lose on Raw, go SmackDown or Raw if they lose on NXT.
I mean, I want to see how it plays out. I'm hoping that's good. One more thing that obviously is returning is the My GM. They brought this back in 2K22 as well, hoping that it'd be kind of a banger. 22 was kind of lackluster whenever it came to My GM. You only got 1v1s or 2v2s. You only got to defend the world title and the women's title. It was pretty basic. 2K23, they did bring tag titles. They did more match types. They didn't have a lot of match types in 22, but 23 they added a lot more. It's just the basics of wanting to compare cruiserweights to strongmen or faces to heels is like game popularity. And whenever you're watching a match and it's a big banger, but the game doesn't agree to it, I don't know. It's just not my thing. But I'm really hoping that 2K24 they can really make this happen. And speaking of My GM for 2K24, they brought back the trading feature that they had back in SmackDown vs. Brawl 2008's My GM mode, which you can just trade your superstars from whatever brands you want with your friends. So I'm hoping that makes it a lot easier. They do offering contracts as well, so we'll see where that leads. Anyways, anybody else's thoughts?
Yeah, I just think that, to me, it's another, even though they added in GA, it's another miss for me this year because it's been confirmed that it's not going to be online again this year. So it's kind of like, alright, well, it's boring when you don't really have friends that don't like wrestling or don't want to do something like that, and it's difficult to do. But for people that is with people for Xbox and PlayStation, you guys got PlayStation. With PC, you got apps like Parsec and all that stuff. But it's just how I am. Xbox needs to step up their game, low-key.
They really, well, I mean, the fact they brought my faction back, that's my only complaint that I have. I feel like they're going to try to do something with My GM, and I'm glad about it, but the my faction thing is just not for me. They could have got rid of that easily and did more things with 2K24 in general, but again, we'll see how everything plays out. We haven't played it yet. I know there's a bunch of really high YouTubers at the moment that are currently going to be in playtest here. I believe at this moment of talking, they are currently playing the game because I know that I believe it was Mike Straw Hat Media on Twitter confirmed that there was going to be a lot of YouTubers that are going to be at a 2K event to play the game and try it out. So hopefully around February, which Smack Talks confirmed there is going to be content on February 1st to see some gameplay, to see some entrances maybe, but we'll see what happens there. But the one thing that I skipped in the entire time talking about 2K24 was bringing back the years of WrestleMania, but they're going to be doing 40 years. The only problem with it is, and this is just a problem to me, I know a lot of you guys are excited, but like, they're only doing 21 matches out of 40 years of WrestleMania. And on top of that, they're adding WrestleMania 40 into the game as a patch, as an update, instead of waiting until 40 is over to make the game, which again, I'm not complaining. I'd rather play this game in March. But
No, they are adding WrestleMania 40 if you have the WrestleMania 40 edition. That's where it comes into play. So if you paid $120 for the WrestleMania 40 edition, then you get the 40 the 40 years of WrestleMania edition. Then you get the arena, the WrestleMania 40 arena, which I think. Yeah,
I feel like because every single time when they add the big games, like the $120 to $130
But is it in the
games.
details of the other game as well? Sorry for cutting you off.
No, you're fine.
Is it in the other? Is it in the details for the other games, or is it just for that one?
Just for that one.
All right. Well,
That's what it's in the details of for that is on Xbox, for the Microsoft Store, that is. It's in the details on the for the 40 years of WrestleMania edition. That's where you get the WrestleMania 40 arena. So it's weird. I don't get that, because like, why in 23 you guys patch in NXT 2.0 and yeah, 22, my bad, sorry, in 22 you guys patch in on NXT 2.0, make it free for everyone, and there we go, we have an updated arena. But no but for this year it's WrestleMania 40, we're trying to get updated arena, and you're making us pay for it. Like,
I feel like it's going to be in every situation where either, yes, they can patch it in there. I don't believe what people are saying about you having to buy the most expensive one to get a 40, WrestleMania 40, sorry, to get that. So I feel like either they're going to patch it in, or it's going to be one of those special singles things that you got to buy, with like the deluxe edition, you get the supercharger, all that stuff. But that'll be an add-on to it, or they'll just make it a singles for like $3 to $4. So I don't think everybody is going to be like, oh, only we get WrestleMania 40 because we spent $120. I feel like everybody's going to get it. They're probably going to patch it, or it's just going to be some sort of singles purchase. That's just my thoughts, though. But 21 matches in a 40 years of WrestleMania, they've already confirmed 5 of them, which I don't have on me right now. I know that one of them is the Roman versus Cody, obviously, at WrestleMania 39, along with Bianca Belair's, forgot who Bianca Belair faced. Asuka. Bianca and Asuka at WrestleMania 39, Charlotte and Rhea Ripley, Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. If I can remember the 5th one in my head. I think it's Stone Cold and Bret. Okay. But yeah, those 5 matches have already been confirmed that it's 21. I would like to have more matches. Hopefully they patch some in, which would be kind of cool, but I understand there's a lot of wrestlers that are...
Here's sorry to cut you off, but here's my opinion on it. I think, like, me personally, it was already the John Cena one from last year, or it's from 23. That was already so long enough, and I think that was only like, what, 14 matches. I think I can't remember.
do a whole 40 matches,
Yeah,
dog.
exactly. I was already struggling enough because of how long it is, and I had to up like a whole bunch of things.
Oh, the longness never bothered me. It was the fact of, like, you were going through a little tutorial on the top left to describe how to do it. It would be like, press B, then press L, the left bumper with the right stick up.
Yeah, their description of telling you what to do was horrible. That's what I'm like.
Same thing with the Ray Showcase in 22. They really need to fucking help us out here. Not that hard. Otherwise, 2K24, they have a lot of exciting things, like the backstage brawl is now going to be able to thwart people. They have working elevators there, and as John mentioned earlier, the whole throwing the weapons thing, adding the new weapons like the microphone, the guitar.
Yeah.
Trash can.
Yeah, you can smash people through windows, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Speaking about the elevator, what do y'all think that's going to be? Y'all think that's going to mean we're going to have multiple levels to the backstage area, or do you just think it'll be like kind of like how the ladder was you just take the elevator instead.
Yeah, I feel like you either have the option of using a ladder to get up there, or they'll have like elevators taking you to like specific things, whether it's like underground, which would be really cool, or there is like the main area where everybody's walking around doing interviews, and then you go up to the rooftop. I think that'd be cool if you wrestled on the
I'm
rooftop.
down with either. Me personally, I don't
Like to
care
say
what
the
they
rooftop thing is not confirmed. That's just for like the one.
Yeah, we're describing our opinions on everything.
Yeah.
I'm excited though. I'm really excited for this game. For the backstage brawl, there was rumors that we were gonna do. God, I always forget the exact term for this, but the back and forth punching is a new mini game. So like whenever you're punching back and forth from one person to another, they're gonna make that a mini game in this year, along with diving off the top rope into multiple people being a thing. I was really excited hearing about that because that's gonna be some banger stuff happening if we can make that a thing for like the AIs. Also, I know this is not a part of 2K24, kind of, but recently 2K has been struggling with making their AIs perfect. They always struggle. If there's some way that you can make the AIs work and be as realistic as possible, that would be so helpful because they are not good.
Yeah, and they always go outside a lot. I'm okay outside, but man, they do it every single. And then of course you have the 10 count, and then they'll go back in the ring at like 7, and then they'll fight a little bit, and then they go back outside. And then they'll fight until the 7 count, go back into the ring, break the count, go back outside the ring, and it's just like, oh my god. And they keep doing that, and you're like, man, this action is just mainly fighting outside the ring. They're not fighting inside the ring.
Yeah, and then whenever people start going for pins and the refs in the way, they have to do a whole circle around the ref just to get over there and break up a pin.
Yeah.
Just hit the ref. You have to hit the ref. Is there anything more on 2K24 that I have to go over that I've missed? Oh, besides Cody Rhodes' dog Sparrow is apparently a manager now. And I know it says it's only for my faction as a card, but knowing what's the status does, I feel like he's gonna help us out and actually make Sparrow a real life manager or even a playable character. Who wouldn't want to play as freaking Sparrow in a 1v1?
Rated T.
Having a dog going for a pin. I mean,
My problem with that is last year he did have some trouble with my faction. For example, the Mattel John Cena, he couldn't get Lily the doll. He couldn't get. So I think since Sparrow's gonna be a dog, I don't think it's gonna work.
yeah.
We'll see. These mods, man, the mod people that take over the 2K22 mods, they're very good at their job. Was it this year where they had like the swimming pool battle royale, or like the lava battle royale and the pool battle royale, and then you can fight at living rooms and all that stuff, the airport? That was fantastic. I love that. That made me crack up.
Yeah. That was really cool that they made that like air. You can fight in the airport. That was so cool. They stole that arena from the My Career, and they uploaded it on Community Creations. I love that.
Rated T for teen.
Yeah. All right, let's move on from 2K24 because we got a little bit of rumors to go over. It's not that much, but let's start off here and go into this. A main rumor that just came out today is that our boy Kevin Patrick, who we all hate, no offense, Kevin Patrick has been released from the WWE. He is no longer with us.
It's just we didn't really ask for. This is my opinion. We didn't really ask for a release from him. We just kind of wanted a demotion, like going back and have him go backstage. But here's the thing: I can probably get where TKO WWE is coming from. They probably have they have a lot of people on backstage already for that, and 2. That's where he came back from whenever he was promoted to the main roster. He went from being a backstage interviewer into a commentator, and didn't work for commentators. So they're like, well, what do we do? Just throw him back to the backstage interview where he was before, I'm like, obviously this isn't working out. So I can see why they fired him.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Vex, you got anything to say about that?
No, not really. I just think they should put him backstage somewhere.
Hear me out. If
I don't think they
Kevin
should have fired him.
Patrick,
It's never a good thing that someone gets fired.
Again, though, I heard that was the issue that they have is they had so many people backstage already doing it. They don't need him. So that was the issue. They're like, what do? We definitely want to pull you from commentary. That's the main thing. But we want to demote you, but we can't. So because we already have so many people, and we can just this person that's doing so good. So what? We might as well just. That's the way I see it. That's probably why they fired him. They're like, hey, let's just say goodbye for a little bit, okay? That's the way I see it.
but hear me out. This is what I'm excited about. The only reason why I'm excited that Kevin's gone is that they need another person for commentary on the SmackDown side. And since Kevin's gone, there's a bunch of good options that they can have. One being, and this is my personal favorite, if he allows it, Mauro Ranallo returns.
Yes.
We all miss Mauro Ranallo. He was
We
so
all
great on
do.
commentary. He would be so good at
So good.
pay-per-views. He was great at
So
NXT
good.
takeovers. If he
So
came back for
good.
like the Rumbles and stuff, oh my goodness. I know you guys are gonna probably hire Pat McAfee. I know you dumbasses. But
Yeah, I know. That's exactly how it's gonna go down. And I hate to say it, like I like Pat. He's cool. He's good at commentary, but no one can be as good as Mauro. Man, he's so good. And they really WWE really dropped the ball with him, and it was just so sad to see how it turned out. Like he was just so good at commentaries and doing so well. Then all of a sudden he got into that altercation with JBL. JBL was bullying him, and it just turned bad. And I was just like, man, dude, if that didn't happen, that's just my opinion.
yeah. I would love Mauro Ranallo, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Pat McAfee or even Byron Saxton randomly. Moving on from that, let's see what we got here. It looks like I have pictures here, but there was talk about Cody Rhodes not going to finish the story at WrestleMania. There's been a lot of rumors going on about that, but I did get this screenshot here proving that they were all fake, showing that reported spoilers from Sports Illustrated yesterday regarding the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania 40. I reported what was detailed to me by previously reliable resources. It appears that was a deliberate attempt at misinformation or misinformation that is being spread through WWE itself. So it is true that Cody Rhodes might go to WrestleMania 40 after all. They were saying that Cody wasn't going to make it and they were going to... I don't remember. I believe it was WrestleOps that I saw through here. Either WrestleOps or Sports Illustrated, confirming that Cody Rhodes wasn't going to make it to WrestleMania 40. It was going to be Rock versus Roman this year. But I believe it's all still going to be false. We don't know what we're going to be expecting at WrestleMania. We don't even know what we're going to be expecting at the Rumble, which we will get into later on in this podcast. But Vex, if you have anything to say about that.
No, I got nothing.
Okay. Yeah, the Cody story is that was a very interesting story, but let's get into more details here. I do have a video. I don't have any audio for it, but this happened later on today. Kevin Owens and Logan Paul were at some sort of performance center doing their training. It looks like they got into some fight over.
I see you 2 days, Kevin.
From,
That's what I thought, bro.
I don't know who's
That's what I thought. Walk away. Walk
Walk
away, Kevin.
Looks like that.
Walk away.
Whoa!
Come on. Whoa.
It looks like Logan Paul tried to throw a blind bottle at Kevin Owens, and he got pissed off at that. They were getting into some sort of brawl. Seems very dangerous. All leading up to their little Rumble match. They're going for the US title. They only have 4 matches announced for the Royal Rumble. So but yeah, that's the kick there. Kevin Owens fighting at the closest to see people's names like Blade, Ed Miscalpe. Trying to see who else is there. Road Dog. There's a few names there. We'll see what happens with those two. But yeah, it looks like we were going straight into the Rumble. We're gonna talk about some Royal Rumble predictions. Talk about the people that are going to possibly be there. One person that I was really excited that could possibly be there is MJF. That's one of the big names that I'm excited for. I know it's probably not going to happen. This is just some kind of story with the Adam Cole and Undisputed Kingdom thing in AEW. Because we haven't heard anything from MJF, and I know that people are saying that he didn't sign a new contract. They're probably working on something in terms of that, and we're probably going to see MJF back in AEW, but it'll be really exciting to see him at the Royal Rumble. Who are you excited for, Vex?
I'm excited to hopefully see what's his name? Matt Cardona.
Matt Cardona.
I think it's time for him to come back with and be there with his wife, and then being an on-screen couple would be great.
Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona, whatever you want to call him. He was pretty good though. He was pretty good back at when he first started at WWE, former Intercontinental Champion. He was a tag team champion. I believe, if I'm correct, he was a United States champion at the time. But yeah, I'd be excited.
We're on Rumble rumors.
Rumble spoilers, yeah. Wow,
that's
a
went
first
over so far.
We just went over MJF. I was explaining that this is just my opinion, but the whole MJF thing is probably just a rig to keep him on AEW so he has a little rivalry with Adam Cole because we haven't seen him yet. But again, if he shows up at the Rumble, I'm going to be very excited. But we just moved on to Matt Cardona, which Vex is really excited to see. And I would love to see him back in the WWE with Chelsea Green. Or Chelsea Green! Chelsea Green! That'd be very exciting.
Yeah, I think it's time. I think it's really time for Matt Cardona to come back. And if you like, oh my God, if you look at his Twitter, he's been teasing it for such a long time, and like legit for almost a year now he's been teasing it. And I think everyone is convinced that the Royal Rumble he's coming back. And it would be really cool because Matt Cardona, like, he dropped the whole Zack Ryder gimmick and did the whole Matt Cardona. I think that'd be cool. That's just my opinion.
Oh yeah, I don't want the Zack Ryder gimmick back. I want Matt Cardona fully, always ready at the Rumble.
Always ready.
Always ready. I need that.
And then Sean Spears or Ty Dillinger.
He's been hinting at it a lot. The most recent tweet that he had, and I can pull it up here from Sean Spears. If you can give me just a second. I believe it was just him doing the GIF of the 10 for the Royal Rumble. Let me double check. Yes, so Russell Features said the Royal Rumble hashtag now has its own emoji at Royal Rumble, and it's a picture of the colon with the number 10 on it. Sean Spears tweeted that and did a little eye emoji with the number 10. Could come back as Ty Dillinger, could come back as Sean Spears, we don't know, but I'm 100% certain, unless he's really screwing with us, that we will see Ty/Sean back at the Rumble.
Yeah. Did you talk about Naomi yet?
No, I've not. I was just going to get into the women's side. Naomi, aka Trinity, who currently is wrestling on TNA as we're speaking, because this was 2 weeks ago. They were planning 2 episodes in one day to record for this, so this isn't live.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So currently, go ahead.
I wanted to kind of get on that a little bit. Now, I think it's definitely confirmed that Naomi is coming back at the Rumble. After she lost, because it's taped, and there was people in the crowd. They recorded it and put it on Twitter. After she lost, she said goodbye to TNA, and that was her final goodbye. And both Jordan Grace and her were in tears. They hugged, and then a whole bunch of other women in the locker room came out and they hugged her, and it was her final goodbye to TNA. So I think it's pretty much confirmed and locked in that she is definitely coming back at the Rumble.
Oh yeah.
That's the way I see it. I also saw another thing too. I saw a screenshot that someone took, and they and after the I think it was WWE Shop that did it on accident, but I saw that Sasha Banks T-shirt was on WWE Shop,
Oh
and I think
yeah.
they did it. I think they did that on accident and released it early, and immediately deleted it. So that could have been either that was like an accidental spoiler, or it could have been just WWE messing. Hey, like whoops, sorry, didn't mean that to happen. Oopsie.
I didn't put Mercedes money into this situation here, but I mean, I'm not, I don't know how to explain it. I love Sasha Banks kind of, but the whole trend that she made in 1 year, she went to New Japan, got one belt, got injured, and already wants to come back to WWE. I don't know. That it's just a personal opinion of me not liking that. Kind of same with Trinity. She went to TNA. She wrestled a few. She became the Impact / TNA Women's World Champion, or the Knockouts Champion. My bad. And then already leaving to go back to WWE. I get it. It was probably for the money. That's just my personal opinion. But who knows? We'll see what happens. Vex, you have any input?
Nope.
Okay.
AJ Lee, they were talking about AJ Lee too.
Yeah.
AJ Lee coming back.
If CM Punk's back in the WWE, you got to make AJ Lee come back. I would love to see AJ Lee, especially with the freaking spoiler pictures that she posted of her wrestling gear, of her wearing her wrestling
Yeah.
boots. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
have to
she's
see AJ
been
Lee.
stirring. She's been stirring. April, we've been seeing you. You're stirring. I know you. But it's
If
we
she
want
comes
it. I
back, she's
think
gonna be my
everyone.
new Women's Crush Wednesday.
Oh, legit. Like, there's so many good matches that could happen with her. AJ Lee versus Rhea Ripley. Oh my gosh, that would be a banger.
It'd be
It's like
amazing.
so many good matches.
For real.
AJ, if she does come back, AJ Lee versus Sasha Banks, I think that would be a really good one. I'm just saying. That's just me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's the majority of what we heard of returns. Legend wise, I'm just gonna throw in some guesses of who I think legend wise would randomly join the Rumble. I think it'd be kind of cool to see Rikishi again in the ring. That's one of my personal favorites. I loved Rikishi. If he joins the Rumble, that would make me laugh. Which one do you want, John? What legend would you want to see?
For a legend?
hmm
Oh my gosh, man. Maybe Bubble Ray.
Bubba Ray
You
would be
think?
a good one.
Yeah. And then right after that, have Devon. That's just me. I don't know. Uh, there's a lot. There's a lot that you can do. Um, man, and probably her. I know Hurricane was in there. Like, probably do it again, right?
Oh yeah,
or
probably.
maybe he brings back like Shane, Gregory Helms
Jesus
instead of
Christ.
Hurricane.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What about you,
Oh,
Vex? What legend would you want to see?
I say just because they're on Legends deals, I say we're gonna see the Dudley Boys.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
sir.
say we're gonna see Ken Shamrock.
Damn,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
they're
on a
on
Legends
Legends.
contract. Yeah, they're all on
Yeah, they're
Legends
on-
deal. These are also people who might be the Legends in 2K24.
Yeah.
Who else? Daddy Quiche.
Daddy Quiche.
Daddy Quiche.
Batista.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he could. You never know. I still think Batista's
We're
gonna get in the
talking.
Hall
I
of
mean,
Fame
he's
this year.
not. He's not a legend. But if we're talking a cool return, just to see, I know this is just talk in my personal opinion, but Mr. Kennedy, dude, I think having Mr. Kennedy come back in the Rumble, that would be really cool.
Oh yeah.
Another guy that's off of a Legends deal is Sandman,
Yeah.
Yep.
Sandman.
and another one that no one's even thinking about. I don't think, just because it's like out of the picture, but I think it could happen. Fucking, he's been saying he wants to go after Roman, The Rock.
Yeah,
The
I
Rock
know.
randomly wins the Rumble. I'll
But
lose my mind.
yeah, if if the Rock comes back at the Rumble and wins the Rumble, I'll lose my mind.
So, who else are they hinting at? Fucking
They're
Hulk
I love to
Hogan.
see Stone
They
Cold
hinted at Hulk
randomly.
Hogan the other
yeah.
night.
Unfortunately, Hulk Hogan.
They
He's like, oh
hinted
my
him the
god,
other night.
yeah, I got one more left in me. And everybody on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everybody I've been seeing, everyone's saying, please go away. We don't want you. We don't
It's
want you
like when
back.
Seth
Please go
Rollins
away.
told Punk, stay away, you cancer, stay
Stay
away from me forever.
away. Hear me out though. This would be kind of funny, but Stone Cold Steve Austin in the Rumble just for an appearance. Oh my goodness, that'd be
I
so
don't think
nice.
it would happen.
That'd be kind of nice
Just
though.
because they're nowhere near, like with Hogan, it makes sense because they're in his hometown, like they're in his home.
Mm-hmm.
They're in Florida, so right? Rumble's at Florida,
Yes.
Yeah.
so makes sense for him. And they played his theme music and everything on Raw, so who knows? But what's next?
These are just a few things I want to talk about here. Who do you guys think is gonna win at the Royal Rumble? I've been thinking about myself. I've been thinking about who I want to win personally. I don't have a vote.
Okay, so me personally, I do have a vote. I think
I got a top
this
four.
is this is
Top
the
four.
person I want. I want Cody to win,
Mhm.
and that's my personal opinion. I just want him to be. I want it to be his year. I want it to actually finish the story, not getting screwed all over again.
Yeah.
That's just me. Um, if it's CM Punk, I can understand. I won't be mad. I just want to know what they'll do. I think I would be really upset though if The Rock won, because that's, and not to mention, I know we haven't talked about it, but he just got onto the TKO board of directors, so now he's part of WWE now, like in the big leagues. So that's how I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I swear to God, I just don't want him to come in, book himself for the Rumble, have him win the Rumble, and just ruin everything.
Oh yeah, I can completely understand that. Ryan, who's your top four?
Top four is Cody Rhodes, CM Punk. I also think this is going to be the final four. Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Gunther, and Drew McIntyre.
Those are actually some good picks.
Yeah, those are really good picks.
Oh God, now I got to think of a top four. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes definitely would be in my top four. Oh boy, guy made me think now. I think yours makes a lot more sense. Gunther, I would add into my third as well. And then for a random purpose, even though it's probably not going to happen, but just put MJF in the final four.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. Having like former all AEW members right there.
Oh
I
yeah.
think that would be cool.
What's your top four, John?
I really hate to say it, but like, um, you have Punk. Okay, so yeah, this is me personally. Punk, Cody, and then you have um, Drew McIntyre, um, and then uh, I think it would be cool if they did MJF, and then so MJF eliminates Drew, and then like I said, you have three former AEW people right there, all in the ring, and they're the last three.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
just
not
my
saying MJF is because I still think they're bamboozling you, and he's gonna still be
yeah.
in AEW.
Yeah, I know. I get it. They still haven't done the story with Madam Cole. I get that.
I don't know how they're gonna put. I mean, I'm not a fan of talking about AEW on here, but I don't know how they're gonna push the Undisputed Kingdom thing. I'm just confused on that. We'll see though. Final things.
real
The
quick.
women's Raw. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, this is completely off topic and not about the Rumble. I forgot to say about this in rumors. Cody told, I forget who he told, but I saw a Twitter post of it, and it was a thing of who Cody would bring over from AEW to.
Yeah, I saw
Oh,
that.
And
yeah,
he said the
I did
two
Wrestle Ops.
people he would
It
bring
was
over
Wrestle Ops.
is Ricky Starks and Wardlow,
Yeah,
which
Wrestle
makes
Ops.
sense because Wardlow
Yeah.
can't be used right at all in AEW,
Mhm.
and
And
Ricky Starks would
Ricky-
just flourish in.
Ricky is already training.
At the
what's her
WWE
name?
Performance Center.
Yes.
With Jade.
Yeah, Core Jade. Oh my God,
Jade
Jade
Cargill.
Cargill. Yeah, Ricky is already training Jade Cargill like at the Performance Center. So I'm like, he's pretty much in the door. Like he's got his foot in the door already.
Just let him lose the tag belts and then just send him over.
Yep.
All right, so let's talk about the women's Rumble real quick. My top 4: Jade Cargill, AJ Lee, if she's gonna be in there, Roxanne Perez, because I'm a big Roxy Bear, and then Bailey. Those are my top 4.
Yeah.
Okay. You ready to hear my realistic top 4?
What, mine
Go for
wasn't
it.
realistic enough for you?
No.
Okay.
This is how it's gonna go. This is, as Paul Heyman would say, this isn't a prediction. This is a spoiler. Okay. So my thing is the final 4. Hear me out. It's gonna be, I hate to say it, Nia Jax,
Yep.
Becky Lynch,
Sorry, I like Becky Lynch.
Bianca Belair, and Bailey.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Somehow, all the 3 of them. So Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, and fucking Bailey are gonna eliminate Nia Jax. Then Bianca
Ooh.
will eliminate, or Bailey or Bianca will eliminate Becky, and it'll be the final 2 is Bianca and Bailey.
All right.
All
I
right.
respect
Okay.
it.
Makes sense for those to be the final 2 because Bailey's trying to show Damage Control that she has like reigns over everything, and Bianca's trying to ruin that. So my final thing is Bailey throws Bianca over the top rope. Bailey's going to Mania.
I think Bailey's gonna win the Royal Rumble this year for real. It's her moment. She has not won the Rumble, and she's been kind of slacking for the past 2 years because she's been making Damage Control and pushing them instead of herself.
I think that also gives her a good way of turning on Damage Control and saying she's going to go after EO.
For real. All right, give us your top 4,
Okay.
John.
Okay, so here's mine. So you have Nia Jax. Okay, I get it. I understand. And then you're gonna have Jade Cargill, Bailey, and someone else that I can't. Probably AJ Lee. AJ Lee.
Mhm.
That's those are mine. And then my prediction is Jade Cargill is gonna eliminate Nia Jax. Why?
By herself.
Because yes, by herself. Why? Because this makes Jade look really strong.
Uh-huh.
And that's a way to make her look strong, and that's a way to actually book her to make her and tell the fans that she's very dominant. So she's very strong, and she can eliminate this. Hate to say, I'm not gonna say like rudely, but very big girl. This the very big woman. She's so powerful that she can lift her up by herself and eliminate her. That's what I feel like is going to happen. Then it's going to come down to Jade, uh, Bailey, and AJ Lee, and then I think AJ is or I think Bailey is going to eliminate AJ, and then I think Jade. I don't know. I really think Jade could win it, or it come down the final 2 is going to be Jade and Bailey, and then that's where I don't know. I think Jade could win it, But then again, like it makes sense if Bailey wins it. That's where I don't know. So that's where I'm all tied up at. I don't know. I'm
Gotcha.
just gonna keep it. I'm just gonna keep it like that. If it comes down to that, that'll be cool. Like I'll be cool with either winner. Because it makes sense either way.
Hell yeah. Let's get into these last two matches, and then we got two more things to go over. The basic one that we discussed earlier before John left. Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul, United States Championship on the line. Logan Paul, the current United States champion as this recording shows. I'm saying it's Kevin Owens. Last time we saw Kevin
I am
Owens
too.
be the U.S. champion was when he had the whole what do you
He
call
shaved
it?
his face.
The face of America, Kevin Owens.
The face of America. Yep.
I
Shaved
was
his
not a fan
face.
of that. I was not a fan of that at
Oh,
all.
that was
The
so
shaved
bad.
face was bad. But I feel like he can run the US division now that, Sammy's on Raw, Kevin's doing his own thing on SmackDown. I don't think Logan Paul should keep the belt. That's just a personal opinion. We already knew that Logan Paul was going to beat Ray at was it Crown Jewel for the US
Yes,
title?
I believe so.
Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, guys.
I think so.
But yeah.
I can't remember.
But yeah, Kevin Owens wins the United States Championship. Vex, who do you think is going to win?
It's difficult for me, just because I like how Logan Paul's been. I just wish he was more champion. But I truly think if it has to come down to it, it's going to be Kevin Owens.
All right. We're on the same side there. I'm not sure if this is the main event or not, but a big match that I was excited for when it was announced. Roman Reigns will be defending his undisputed WWE Universal Championship against AJ Styles, Randy Orton, and LA Knight. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll tell you I'll tell you my scenario of what happens. I feel like Roman's gonna lose the belt. I know it's not gonna happen because he's still trying to beat Hulk Hogan's record at this moment. I think it's Hulk Hogan's record. Is it Hogan's record?
Yeah, it's Hogan's record.
Because I know it's Bob Backlund than Hulk Hogan, but they're more focused on the Hogan record. Trying to beat that record, so I'm not very sure. But if I had to pick on who was going to move on, I would say it'd be Randy Orton. Because if I saw Randy with the championship, do Randy and Cody at the pay-per-view so that Cody can finish his story and take it off of Randy. For one, Cody needs to finish the story and become champion. And for two, it's a whole legacy reunion with them formerly a faction with Ted DiBiase Jr., which, you know what's going on with him. If you don't, he is currently in prison for fraud. But yeah. So I'm hoping to see that happen, but if it doesn't happen, it's fine. But that's my vote is Randy Orton wins at the Rumble.
I would love to see it. I would love to see LA Knight take it, but that's just something I would love to see. The reality, it's going to be Roman. That's just the reality.
Vex?
The reality is Roman, but if I had to see someone, I know this is gonna sound bad against LA Knight. I don't know. I think he lost the momentum after losing against Roman.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to put it as Randy or AJ. Personally, I like AJ, so I'd like to see AJ win, but Randy too.
AJ would be kind of nice too.
Just because I want to see Randy face Cena.
I would love to see LA Knight as a champion. Don't get me wrong, but like, if worse comes to worse, I'd like to see Kevin Owens and LA Knight for the U.S. title at Mania, and LA Knight wins it then. He had his push and he didn't really succeed in it. He got screwed over by Jimmy and Solo a little bit, but that's how everybody happens. I think LA Knight is the U.S. champion. He can definitely run 2024 that way. But that's our opinions on that. Two more things. So I didn't really want to bring this up in the podcast, but it recently just happened. A lot of stuff was going on with Vince McMahon at the time of this recording, where he's been doing very, how do I say this, on a podcast without getting myself deleted. He's been doing some very explicit things behind
I mean,
WWE.
you can spell it. I've seen a lot of people spell it out of what he's doing. Like he's been doing a sex assault. So yeah, kind of that.
Explicit. I'm saying explicit. It
Yeah.
sounds better. But he's been doing some explicit things while he was still running WWE. If anybody has the screenshot of that so I can read the full thing, because I don't have it in here anymore. Actually, never mind, because I know where it's
Ops.
I know where it's at. Hold on. So there's a lawsuit filed against Vince McMahon accusing him of sexual stuff. We'll say it that way. Sean Ross Sapp quoted that the details of the allegations in the Vince McMahon lawsuit are wild, including accusations that he, I can't say this word, defecated on a woman's head during a 3-person thing. It's really hard to say
Yeah.
these things in a podcast without getting myself in trouble, but I'll try to do it as best as I can. Vince McMahon forcefully used explicit items on a person, including things that he named after WWE wrestlers, causing her bruising and bleeding. And then this was out, stating that in July of 2021, the suit said that McMahon instructed Grant to create personalized, explicit content for a WWE superstar that he was trying to re-sign. The suit didn't name the professional wrestler, but described him as both a UFC fighter and WWE talent. People familiarized with the matter identify the wrestler as Brock Lesnar, one of WWE's biggest names. Lesnar didn't immediately respond Thursday to requests for a comment. The suit said McMahon shared the explicit photos with the star and informed Grant that he likes what he sees. After the star agreed to a new WWE contract, McMahon texted Grant in August of 2021 to say that the part of the deal was effing you. The December, McMahon gave Grant personal cell phone number to the WWE star. The lawsuit said that the wrestler asked her to send a video of herself using the bathroom. We'll say it that way. The suit said after she did, he called her a bitch. I'm allowed to say that. In that same month, the suit said that the star expressed a desire to set a play date, but a snowstorm disrupted the travel plans. Just hearing all that kind of it's weird. I'm not a personal fan of what I heard,
So
but go ahead.
yes. So they like as you were reading that, I just am now reading that due to the allegations and recent controversy with Brock Lesnar, WWE has officially stopped all creative plans with Brock Lesnar. So he's not fired, but they're not using him.
I don't blame him. That
Yeah.
what I heard is disturbing to me.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. I have no words for it, honestly, because it's like you want to think it's not real, but then you see on like all the proof that they have, and you're like, holy shit, it is.
Sorry, I was trying to read into this more. If all that's happening is true, then that's just a big fu to WWE as a company because of the things that Vince McMahon did behind the scenes. They didn't name who the female wrestler was, and apparently those specific things did go down. So far as what they said, but if this is really true, then again, it's a big slap to the company. It's definitely a slap to Vince McMahon, who thank God no longer works for the company anymore.
Did get a name.
Oh, they did get a name.
I hope you. Yeah.
I didn't. What was in? Wait, am I allowed to say the name on here? Should I say the name on here?
I I don't know, but I can send you the name if you would like.
Send me the name. I kind of want to figure this out. But again, if all this is true, it sucks for the woman that had to deal with it. It sucks for WWE as a company because Vince McMahon was running it at that time, and that looks like a big problem. And the fact that all this was happening under what was supposed to be like more of women's wrestling, not as much as explicit wrestling. But that it really does suck. Vex, do you have any input on that?
I just think this whole situation's fucked.
John, if you can explain more into details of what I'm
My bad.
looking at.
My bad. That is the wrong one. Do not look at that one. This is the right one.
I really hope nobody else goes through this kind of pain. If you guys go through that pain, there's hotlines for that. Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. There you go. That's the right one.
Okay. Sorry, I'm going into this here as we're speaking. Trying to find the name.
It's at the top. My client.
It says, who is that?
Here, I'll find it. Janelle Grant. That's
Oh, I didn't
that's
know who that. I didn't know who that was at all.
Yep.
Damn. I'm sorry for Janelle for having to go through that pain. And again, if anybody else goes through that pain and something's happening like that to you, there are hotlines for that, so don't feel bad for reaching out to those. That mainly wraps it up here. We're going to watch like pay-per-views with you guys live, but we're not going to do it for the Rumble because we kind of just want to spend time to ourselves and just watch the Royal Rumble with each other. But whenever the Elimination Chamber comes out, we will definitely be streaming that live with you guys on this channel. So stay tuned for that.
What? Are you sure about
No,
that?
not live, not live, not live. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not. Oh God, not
live?
the chamber, not the chamber.
Sorry, guys.
My
Yes.
bad. Not the chamber.
Yeah.
WrestleMania. I lied.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. Yeah,
We'll be doing
live
it for
us in
WrestleMania.
the chamber is like 4 o'clock in the morning, so we can't do that. I'm sorry.
I'd be dead asleep by then. But
Yeah.
we'll go over it because we'll probably be doing this podcast maybe like every 2 weeks on a Thursday. So we'll see. But again, this has been great. We brought back the WrestleReacts podcast. We're going to be doing this on our Spotify. So if you guys want to follow us there, it's also WrestleReacts. Our Twitter is WrestleReacts. We're going to try to post as active as we possibly can, but we're always busy. And then obviously our YouTube channel here, WrestleReacts. Please subscribe if you haven't. Leave a like. If you have any comments about what we said, please comment down below that. And until then, we will see you on next week's episode. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.